يعنى الإنجليز بالشأن العام الاقتصادي والسياسي إن كان داخل بلادهم أو خارجها، فيتظاهرون ضد الحروب والتقاتل وضد سياسات حكوماتهم التي تعنى بالشأن الداخلي أو الخارجي، كلها لمصلحة الإنسان هنا أو في أي مكان من العالم. كما لخطاب العنصرية هنا جمهور، كذلك خطاب التسامح والدعوة للعدل يجد آذانا صاغية في بريطانيا وفي أنحاء أوروبا، وهو تيار مضاعف مرات أكثر من تيار العنصرية. جيريمي أحد الناشطين السياسيين يتمسك بالعدل ويمقت التفرقة العنصرية والحروب. Let's start here now. Why are you here? Why this?
I'm the chair of the Stop the War Coalition, and I was there at the foundation of the coalition in 2001. And we opposed the Afghan war because we didn't believe it was going to bring any peace or good solution to the world. Obviously, what happened in 9/11 in New York was terrible, the loss of over 3,000 lives there. But the loss of tens of thousands in Afghanistan, the spending by Britain alone of £17 billion isn't going to bring about peace, isn't going to bring about justice. And indeed, it's damaged society in Britain through anti-terror legislation which damages our civil liberties, and it hasn't led to any prosperity for the Afghan people. So we're saying bring the troops home now and let the Afghan people decide their future.
Do you think it was a mistake, like sending troops by the government, or there were some interests that they did not reveal to their people?
In the case of Syria,
Afghanistan, Iraq.
Afghanistan, there are
and Iraq.
And Iraq, there are massive interests. The massive interests are a combination of the natural resources of both countries, the oil that's in Iraq, and the huge mineral reserves that remain to be exploited in Afghanistan. And there's also a big interest in military and private security companies that have made a great deal of money out of both those wars. Huge profits have been made by the support systems for the troops, and a client class has been created in both countries who work with the occupying military forces. And so there becomes an imperative of itself in that. And what we're saying here is we have resources apparently to bomb Afghanistan. We've spent £17 billion doing it.
We're doing a program about the Arab communities in London, in the UK in general. Do you think there's any racism against them?
I live in London and I represent a London constituency in Parliament, and my constituency has over 70 different languages spoken in it. There are people living in my community from every country in the world, and basically people get along pretty well. I live in an area that has a large Christian church, a fundamentalist church, has Catholic, has Church of England, also has 2 mosques nearby, also a synagogue, and there are temples. Every religion is there. People get along, they understand each other, and they work pretty well together. Other parts of Britain, less so, much less tolerant. And indeed, the whole way in which the Afghan and Iraq wars have been presented has led to an increase in racism, has led to a degree of Islamophobia, and has led to unfortunate, unfair and wrong targeting of Muslim people and Arab peoples by different authorities. And so our campaign is of course opposed to the wars, but it's also about the cohesion of our society. We live in one world. If that's to be a world of peace, we have to understand each other's faiths, or no faiths. We have to understand each other's cultures, but above all understand the history that goes with it. If somebody comes to live here and they gain the right of residence or they gain asylum, then they have to accept the laws of the country they're in. If I go and live in another country, I have to accept the laws of that country because I'm chosen to live within that jurisdiction.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Good
Thank
luck
you.
on your cause.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.